Number one, every foreigner thinks that every Filipina girl a gold digger. What's up guys, and welcome once again to my YouTube channel. My name is Kanu Chinedu Praise. If this is your first time coming across my YouTube channel, or maybe you have been watching my YouTube channel for a while and you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, turn on your notification bell so that you can be able to get future video even as I upload. So today in this YouTube channel, I'm going to be discussing what it really feels like for an African guy like me to live here in the Philippines. So I want you guys to stay tuned and enjoy the video. Actually, the Philippines is a very interesting country to really be in or live in if you come in here as a foreigner, probably an African or maybe a white foreigner. You know, it's really a very interesting country. It's very beautiful. They're very welcoming. They have the best hospitality in Asia, and also they're very friendly people, and also they're actually very happy people with diverse culture, and also they are actually a very warm hearted people when you get to meet them or know them as a person. But the fact that the Philippines is very open, and they're very hospitality, they're very good, they're very welcoming, doesn't mean they don't have their own bad side. Because every country you go to, no matter how nice, no matter how good that country really looks like and how they treat foreigners here, definitely that country also has a bad side. But I'm not necessarily saying that that country is a very bad country. No, what I'm trying to say is that despite the fact that this country is very good and they treat everybody with utmost respect, definitely as a foreigner you might have some individual experience that you might find in the country you go to. So that's exactly what I really want to highlight. But I'm not really necessarily saying the bad side also. I'm just trying to document generally what it really feels like as an African foreigner to live here in the Philippines. Number one, every foreigner thinks that every Filipina girl a gold digger. Like for me, I've been in the Philippines since 2015, December 16th. I came to the Philippines, and I've actually been in a relationship with some Filipina girls, and also I have met some foreigners, African foreigners, who have been in a relationship with a Filipina girl. Majority of them don't really date the guy because of their money, if I should say, yeah. But when you check the social media, you type how do foreigners feel about the Filipina girl, the first thing that comes up is the Filipina girl is gold digger. When they just say a foreigner, they want to get all the money from them. No, that's not how it is. Sometimes I feel that as a foreigner, it depends on how you carry yourself. Because some foreigner get to meet a Filipina girl and they try to make the Filipina feel that they're very rich, they have some money, and majority of them might not really have money, but they try to give that impression that they have money, and the Filipina girl will use that as an advantage to get money from them. Because when you try to show materialistic position towards a Filipina lady, she's gonna feel like you're trying to use that to get her, and so she's gonna use that as an advantage to get your money. So what I'm trying to say is this: if you are a foreigner and you are here in the Philippines and you want to be in a relationship with a Filipina girl, I just feel you should try to be as plain as possible. You don't need to try to show how rich you are, or you need to show her that you have money, or you try to impress her with something. I just feel as a foreigner, just try to be as free as possible. Try to make her understand your intention and be real. Then if you can be real, definitely, even though the lady has an intention of getting money from you, definitely her mindset is going to change. But I'm not trying to say there aren't some girls who are like that. But what I'm trying to say is this: if you're a foreigner and you really want to be in a very serious relationship here in the Philippines, I feel that you should try to be as real as possible. And generally, I would say that not all Filipina girls are into foreigners because of money. I can say that there are actually 80%, or let me say more, who date really from their hearts. You understand? I would just say it's just the few of them who try to give the Filipino a very bad name. Secondly, I used to think every Filipina girls are racist when they say they don't date dark skinned guys. But when I came here, my mentality or my idea about that changed. What I mean to say is this: not every Filipina girl are attracted to some certain race. Some Filipino girls are attracted to, the white people. There are some Filipino girls also attracted to the black people. Some also Filipino girls also attracted, to some other, country. It just depends on your choice. So, if you're a black person and, you try to ask a Filipina girl out and she tells you, sorry, she doesn't date, black people, or probably maybe you are, a foreigner, a black foreigner who just came to the Philippines recently, and maybe you met a girl online, you really like her, and you try to ask her out and she tells you, no, I'm not really into black guys, don't try to take it very serious. It's just because, that's not her own choice, you understand? But that doesn't mean she's a racist. She can be your friend, you understand? Philippines is not a racist country because, they are actually multiracial, people in this country. Like, they've been colonized by, different, country. We have the Japanese, we have the Americans, we have the Spanish, and also we have the Chinese. So, you won't tell me, the Philippines they're racist. Nah, that's not how it is. It's just that, they have their own, preferable, choice, of men in terms of, dating or being in a relationship, I should say. Thirdly, don't be too carried away by their hospitality and friendship. What I'm trying to say is this: Philippines is a very hospitality country. They're very happy people. They're free-minded. But the fact they're free-minded doesn't mean that, you're going to be carried away. You're not. That's not how to. Because, I also have an experience before. I thought, the Philippines is very free. You can walk at any time of the day if probably you don't have any problem with anybody. But this happened to me, I went to the grocery to buy something, and I had like, I think, 8,000 pesos on me, and also with my grocery pack, So I met this Filipino guy. He was just following me at the back. So I just thought, okay, he's just like an average Filipino guy. So before the moment I just passed, where the security camera was actually, facing, he just pointed like a gun at me and told me to, bring out all what I had. And you know what? I actually saw him in the mall, and I didn't really, take notice that, he was actually looking at me. But when I crossed outside the mall and I passed, where people are in much, he pointed something at me. I don't know whether it was a gun or whether it was a knife. He told me, I should, give in everything I had. My 8,000, my cell phone, and my grocery store. My grocery stuff, I bought in the supermarket. Everything, that's how it just left. So I actually felt very, very bad, very, very, very bad. But that doesn't mean, I'm going to really change, or because I'm going to say the Filipinos are like this. No, it's just that, some things like this, happening everywhere you go to. And I have actually, learned my lesson from that. The fact that, a country might be as free and probably, you don't have any problem with anybody doesn't mean, you don't have to be conscious, about your environment or your surrounding. Or every Filipina or Filipino thinks that every foreigner who comes to the Philippines are very rich. But that's a no, because every foreigner who comes to the Philippines doesn't necessarily mean they are rich. It's just that, most of the foreigners who spend, and go for vacation and do some certain stuff, when a Filipina sees a foreigner, they, oh my God, he's so rich. Wow, he can afford this, he can afford that. But that's not it. Because most of the foreigners who you see, they're actually enjoying their life here in the Philippines, or they just come for vacation. It doesn't mean they have money, no. It's just that most of them, they had some adequate planning. They had to save money. They had to, do some certain things, just for them, to travel to the Philippines. So if you're a Filipino and you see a foreigner, don't feel like, that foreigner is very rich. No. Just think that, that person is actually privileged, to come to the Philippines. You can actually also watch. Filipinos also travel to other countries, for vacation and some other stuff. Not just only celebrities. It doesn't mean they have money, but it's just because, they saved and, they planned for it. So if you're a Filipino and you see a foreigner here in the Philippines, don't necessarily feel that that foreigner is very rich, okay? And finally, I used to think the Philippines is not really that beautiful, because I never had any idea of the Philippines, and I never had any plans, on coming to the Philippines. So when I heard of the Philippines, I was like, wow, Philippines. I've never heard of it. Philippines. I thought maybe it was the Philippians in the Bible. And, when I checked the country, I was like, the country is not really actually a third world country, and things are not okay. They living below poverty line and stuff like that. But when I came to the Philippines and I landed at the airport, I was like, whoa, man, this place is fucking very beautiful. Really, to be very sincere, I never knew that, the Philippines would be so much beautiful like this. And also, when I now traveled, to other places around the Philippines, man, I was blown away. Like, everything about the Philippines was just very beautiful, even very beautiful than what you will see, you know, on CNN or maybe other news channel, or what they, you know, say about, you know, most of other third world country. That was not so when I came here. Like, everything about the Philippines is very, very, very sweet. So if you're coming to the Philippines, don't just watch CNN, don't just watch Fox. Try to, you know, come here and visit and see for yourself before, you know, you can run into any conclusion. So in my next video, I'm gonna be discussing what it really feels like as an African foreigner to live or stay in the Philippines, in case, you know, you're coming, or maybe you're already in the Philippines. So I want you guys to stay tuned and don't miss that video. But I hope you guys, you know, really enjoyed this video, and I hope, you know, you guys really learned something from this video. And also, let's not forget, if you know you also have been watching this my YouTube channel, or probably, you know, you've been clicking on my YouTube video every day and you haven't subscribed, or probably you just came across my YouTube channel and you haven't subscribed, and also you like, you know, what, you know, I upload, or, you know, the kind of video I really upload, please consider, you know, just smashing that like button and also subscribing, so that you can be able to get future video even as I upload. So I want you guys, you know, to stay tuned and make sure you enjoy yourself, you know, try and be safe, and also maintain social distance, you know, because this is COVID-19, so we don't want any of you to, you know, to get sick. So I want you guys to take good care of yourself, and ingat, and happy weekend.